Pentagon always gets their cut, and I don't like that. They're war pimps.
Why would you vote to fund that again if you think it's waste, fraud, and abuse? Could President Trump sway your vote with a phone call?
Yeah, possibly.
We've got clips of another Republican on CNN who is unable to adequately defend the Trump agenda, though still saying he would inevitably support it because, of course, he will. So let's highlight how this party cannot and should not be trusted to govern our country, as they are ineffective as we gear up for the 2026 midterms. But be sure to take a moment, like the video, and we'll get straight into it.
I have some questions, though, that remain to be answered.
What questions do you have about this legislation?
Well, first of all, I was disappointed that we didn't have any of the cuts in there that Doge has talked about. But then, of course, the legal folks tell me that it wouldn't be prudent or proper or legal actually to put it in a bill like this. It has to come later.
Yeah, but that is confusing, because if Elon Musk is cutting what he says he's cutting, I asked about this last week, why would you vote to fund that again if you think it's waste, fraud, and abuse? Well,
that's a great question, and we've continued to fund it for probably 20 years. But the truth is that it's not legal to put it in a bill of this the substance. That needs to come later, and I hope that it does. I would vote on a bill if you just put them all together.
It's pretty simple, because waste and fraud and abuse is just the marketing tactic. It's a campaign slogan, not what they're actually finding. It's actually just spending they don't like, and they're testing the waters with crucial but lesser known agencies like USAID or the CFPB, the latter of which, the CFPB, has saved the middle class over $20 billion from the wealthiest tech giants. And it's only a matter of time before they then turn to the even bigger programs with spending they don't like Social Security, like Medicare. We already see them planning 80,000 employee reductions for Veteran Affairs, which provides pensions, healthcare, education, and more for our veterans. This is the first step of defunding it. This is how you make it inefficient to then justify defunding it, as, I mean, it's already understaffed. So the idea you would cut more is insane, with now, again, 10% of Social Security staff being planned to be laid off. Make no mistake, this is the groundwork to gut these agencies.
They're making cuts in different departments, but the Pentagon always gets their cut, and I don't like that. They're war pimps, and they've continuously raised, we've raised the amount of money we send them. You know, they've had eight audits, and they have not only have they not passed an audit, they have not completed an audit. They're very arrogant. And how did we punish them the last NDAA? We gave them $8 billion new dollars.
I'm so glad we at least have some Republicans still willing to call out what the top of their party is ignoring, but don't give them too much credit yet, because Elon profits to the tune of $22 billion from the Defense Department, but the Defense Department has also failed so many audits that they just refuse to do them now. So if we're cutting waste and fraud, if that's your goal, you obviously started the Pentagon, and not starting at the Pentagon shows that clearly that's not the goal. The idea that Medicaid, the CFPB, the VA, Social Security, that these need cut before the department that has literally just lost $800 million out of thin air should give the game away to anyone with a brain on whether or not they're trying to cut waste and fraud.
But I mean, you are the one who decides that, essentially.
I am.
And you have not, it's 9:26 p.m. and you have not decided how you're going to vote tomorrow.
That's correct. That's the beautiful thing about it.
Could President Trump sway your vote with a phone call?
Yeah, possibly.
Because he did on the budget resolution last month.
Yeah, and because he made some commitments in that.
And this is why you have to be hesitant to give these Republican clowns too much credit. Just as one or two of them may speak out, at the end of the day, it's all for show, something to feed their constituents to make it seem like they care as they're, stealing their health care. Because ultimately, they're going to fall in line. They're going to vote for the bill. We've seen it time and time again where they just pretend that they're going to get some concession to do so, but then the concession never materializes. Conservatives are going to raise our debt ceiling. They're going to add $4.5 trillion through the tax cuts. They're going to try to balance that with cutting social programs that affect the poorest members of our society, whether it be Medicaid, whether it be food stamps, right? And it's all because when Donald Trump and corporations come calling, they no longer care about their constituents. You're not paying them enough for them to care about you.